Some insane news just broke that could change how Minecraft is developed, and it just might push us into the golden age of Minecraft. Pretty big words, I know, but this is genuinely huge, and it could make history. So without further ado, let's just get into it. If you've been at sea for the last month and haven't kept up with the news, Xbox is making some massive changes, firing over 3,000 people and dropping 4 studios. The CEO basically said they failed, Xbox is starting over, and they're hiring the head of Mojang, Helen Chiang, as their COO. But on top of that, Mojang is now working directly with the CEO of Xbox, Asha Shah. Now there's a lot more to talk about, but that's already huge. Based on some more info from the CEO, work was going through as many as 14 layers of management, which meant that every time Mojang wanted to, say, drop a new update, it could take months to get approved, and it's also probably where some idiot higher up at Microsoft forced them to add things like migration and chat reports. So if they're cutting out the middleman, that could be really good for Mojang, and let me tell you why. How many times have you heard someone say that Minecraft updates suck? I mean, it's pretty much universal. Nobody cares about Minecraft updates, and they haven't since Microsoft bought the game. Think about it. That's when they released 1.9, which might be the most controversial update in the history of gaming, and they followed it up with auto jump, mansions, and glazed terracotta. Yay. Now, sure, they've had some great updates like the Nether update, which I love, but 95% of them are so niche they're useless. Like, tell me, when's the last time you used a Heart of the Sea? When's the last time you've seen a Heart of the Sea? Do you even know what it does? I don't. All this time, people have been blaming updates like that on Mojang. But if Xbox's CEO is right here, and yeah, she'd probably know better than anyone, then for the last decade, Microsoft might have been the problem. If somewhere along the chain of command, some big shot Microsoft exec thinks an update might change the game too much, they might just veto it. Minecraft is the biggest video game in the world, and I'm sure they are petrified of another combat update situation where millions of people all abandon the newest versions and all the microtransactions they've been adding for the Minecraft they grew up with. And less players means less money, which is all that matters to these people, let's be honest. But you don't just have to take my word for it. Over on Bloomberg, a business news outlet, there's been an investigation into the Xbox layoffs that's getting a lot of eyes on it, in particular for one very interesting claim they got from an inside source. Apparently, Xbox has been failing so hard that they've been taking profit from Minecraft and using it to fund the entire company. So if every dollar Mojang earns goes to some god-awful disaster like Redfall with a $100 million budget that will probably flop on day one, yeah, no wonder Mojang's not doing anything, they're getting robbed every day. And even if they do have the budget to make a great update, if Jimmy Jimberson, manager of the Doing Nothing division at Microsoft, thinks that update is too new or too different, they might have to scrap the whole thing. So now we know a little more about what's been going on behind the scenes with Mojang and Microsoft. But finally, after who knows how long, those chains have been broken. Mojang is hopefully getting their budget and their creative control back from Microsoft, at least for the most part, and that's a really big deal. I mean, sure, Mojang might still release bad updates, but there's a lot of skilled devs on that team. You have modders like Sarge and King B Dogs, the OGs like Jeb and Dinnerbone, and industry veterans like Torfi Olafsson from EVE Online, or Sliced Lime, who literally developed my favorite video game of all time, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. What an absolute legend. Mojang's not perfect, obviously, but there are some insanely talented people there, and without Microsoft holding them back, I'm begging and pleading on my hands and knees that they'll actually get to work on some new, cool, unique, game-changing updates instead of, woo, we changed spawn egg textures. By the way, is it just me or do those look terrible? But it's not just these Xbox changes that have me so excited for Minecraft's future, because even with Microsoft breathing down their neck, Mojang has made some very interesting updates recently, not with gameplay, but with their tech. By this point, you've probably heard about Mojang de-obfuscating Minecraft, but if you haven't, late last year, Mojang decided to basically release the code for Minecraft Java Edition for modders to take a look at and poke around in. But nobody's really talked about all the other work they've been doing behind the scenes. Over the last year or two, they've added new attributes to the game that can change how PvP, mobs, and even the camera work, which is probably how we've been seeing these crazy projects like Winecraft's Dragons in vanilla Minecraft. They've added new components and data pack mechanics, so you can make custom enchants or brand new blocks and items directly in Minecraft without needing a mod. And just recently, they changed Minecraft's graphics engine from the old, outdated OpenGL to Vulkan, which is as much as tripling some people's FPS even on the highest render distance. For over a decade, people have been begging Mojang to optimize the game, release their code, support their modding community, and it's finally happening. But there is one other piece of info that came out with all that, which has me a little worried. See, when Ashashar, again that's the CEO of Xbox, released all of this new info, it wasn't just Mojang who's now working with her directly. Alongside them was another company called King, who you probably know for Candy Crush, and all 7,000 of its spin-offs, it's basically their only game. But King is actually working on a new game, a game they're developing with Mojang, called Minecraft Blast. It's actually already out in Canada and Malaysia, and they'll probably be rolling it out worldwide by the end of the year. But with the CEO of Xbox mentioning both these companies right next to each other, shouting them out as critical for Xbox and their largest studios by player count, I can only imagine the light bulbs going off in their heads thinking, oh, I know how we'll save Xbox, Minecraft-themed mobile games, with, of course, as many microtransactions as they could possibly fit into one app. If you're like me and never actually played Candy Crush, this thing is littered with them. You can buy gold, lives, power-ups, bundles. The game will even shove them in your face on the home screen, hoping the average Candy Crush player, who's like a 40-year-old woman by the way, so basically your mom, will fall for their pay-to-win mechanics. And side note, if you pay to win in Candy Crush Saga, you need professional help. But the point is, there is a very real chance that instead of giving Mojang the freedom to do what they want with Minecraft, they could just as easily be forced into making crappy mobile games instead, or even shoving microtransactions into Minecraft. I mean, people have been complaining about the hellscape that is the Minecraft marketplace for years, begging Mojang not to bring it to Java Edition, and so far they haven't. But if Xbox is pulling the strings, they might not have a choice anymore. I'm still optimistic for the future of Minecraft, but this whole thing is one big asterisk that's pretty hard to ignore. But I don't want to end this video on a sour note because this could be and should be a golden opportunity for Mojang, not just with Minecraft, but with Minecraft Dungeons. If you don't know what that is, you're not alone, which is part of the problem. Minecraft Dungeons is a top-down dungeon crawler game they released back in 2020 and discontinued back in 2024. Now, people mostly liked the first Minecraft Dungeons, and it did alright in sales, but it never really blew up, despite being, you know, a spin-off of the biggest video game of all time. But it apparently did just well enough to get a sequel, Minecraft Dungeons 2, which is supposed to come out in just a few months. Mojang has been trying for years to get another big success under their belt that isn't just Minecraft, and until now, they've failed pretty badly, from the disaster that was Minecraft Legends, to the short-lived AR game Minecraft Earth, or even their other properties that just never took off like Cobalt or Scrolls. But now, Mojang might finally have the money and freedom to make Minecraft Dungeons 2 a masterpiece, their first big hit in 17 years, and that's very exciting to see. Of course, there's really no telling what's in Mojang's future. Even with all their stars aligned, Mojang could easily screw it up, release a terrible game, ship out more boring updates, put their focus into some crappy mobile game that no one really wants. But either way, this is an opportunity, a way for Mojang to win back their community. And if they play their cards right, we just might be entering the golden age of Minecraft. Thank you all for watching, and have a good one. Peace, peace.